Hello and welcome to a podcast. This podcast is explaining you basically everything about the difference between being a female and a male. After listening to this podcast, you will know why you feel like you feel if you are a male or a female. You will also kind of know what's wrong with the world and what is natural. And clearly, you will understand why so many boys want to be girls. I will share personally thing about myself, why I chose to be a male instead of female, and just explain everything very, very clearly and nicely. And again, I want to make clear that when I'm speaking to you like this here on a podcast, that's not a suggestion or what I think, like most people. They have some knowledge and they try to, this is enlightened talk and this is the truth. If you don't believe in truths, then this podcast is not for you and go and be confused somewhere else. So let's start the podcast. I just feel like being a little bit personal here and talking about myself. And I have realized, and we all know this, that to be in a white room all alone for many, many hours is bad. So as a human being, like Adam in the Garden of Eden, um, he wanted a female there, and the whole reason is that we can mirror ourselves and make ourselves up. You know, the physicists talk about that when there's a white dot in this complete, a black dot in this white room, then we can compare ourselves, right? But we don't even need to compare ourselves. We don't only need to compare ourselves with a white dot. We are actually making up our identity by the perception of other. So that's why wise people say you are who you surround yourself with. And for myself personally, I've been alone now in a year, and from this complete loneliness, you really, really feel this a lot stronger, when you have to go and shop and some people are looking at you and your this energy means a lot for you for yourself compared to when you are, for example, working in the kindergarten and there's hundreds of people, maybe thousand people in your energy all the time, then you get overstimulated. And I don't say it's good or bad, but it's just another state of being. And yeah, lately I have spent a lot of time with my cats and my dogs. And when you are together with dogs, you become a little bit like dogs. When you're together with cats, they're a little bit higher vibrational. When you're together with your wife, that's a total different togetherness, and the energy you can give and receive is so much different. And if you have like a light worker um, partnership or relationship, you can really, really shine. Before going into details about being a male or a female, I just want to share my own story with you in this podcast. And before I'm sharing my choice of gender in this reincarnation, I want to share how I felt when I was a little kid before the puberty. But even before that, I want to share you this. Sometimes I wish that I was just a beautiful girl. If I had some problems with someone as a girl, I could just go and say, hey, and they would be like, oh, she's a girl, she's fuckable. I want her. That's how the male is perceiving the female. And they would be kind and they would be listening and they would be compliant and I could even, I don't even need to be harsh or anything or dominating. I could just like express my feelings, and the males would comply with me, of course, try to manipulate me and stuff, but the whole interaction and to get through what you want, to get what you want through is it's a more dynamic, beautiful, easy way. You can just shine some love and smile, look them in the eyes, and they will be like, Sure, I will see what I can do." When I was a little boy, I should go to school, and I went with the school bus every morning. Yeah, sorry, but I thought that the boys on my age, because I was already awakened from birth, so I really found them really retarded, honestly. So I was hanging out with the girls in the bus. I tried to sit next to some girls, because then when we have some traumas and stuff like that, we can heal our own energy by having a connection with someone who don't have traumas in those area, and really, I just loved to be around girls when I was a kid. The other kids, the other males, they didn't like the girls at that time and had no interest actually. But I felt like a girl, you know, feminine. So I was buying this. They were exchanging some glitter paper, beautiful paper, which was smelling. So I was asking if I could buy some from my money, and then I could have something to talk with the girls about. And I really, really loved that. Yeah. I think that's a shame to admit, but now the time have changed that many, many, many boys and men like to be feminine now, so I think it's okay to tell. Just a little side note that many men do not mature into become a real man with all what that means. So they are actually they are they are left in a state in between a man and a female, receive all the hate and stuff which come with being a man, but does not receive the beauty of being a female. Now I'm gonna explain you why I personally chose to be a man, a male, and then after I'm gonna explain you what is the right functions for a male and a female originally, before all the mindfuck and all the confusion, what we are meant to be. So, me personally, I see myself as a female. I have the same traits as a female. I'm like understanding people, I'm loving, I'm vulnerable. I don't like to be dominating because I respect other people's private space. And it's not like, I mean, it's because the society and the role models and our understanding of everything is so fucked up that men have to be not nice in this society. So that's why I identify more like a girl than a man. And now, when I explain you my choice, you will also understand, and I'm gonna explain the further the difference between male and females. My choice to be like I am, like a female, is that I as a man can have the same traits as a female, be loving and compassionate, take care of the kids and do all the good stuff which men are normally not so capable of because they have other functions, but I have those functions. But I was just figuring that I would come into, I mean, when I was born, I crossed the Berlin Wall. Just when I was born, it was made so when I wanted to go to Denmark. from Poland. I had to cross the Berlin Wall, and it was still there, but they just shut it down at that point, so I could go. And now we are in the Third World War, and I was just figuring that I would not be able to find a wonderful man who could kind of complement my traits and vision of my life. I already knew this. Of course, that's not how males and females are made just by choice, but for me, it's a good choice. I'm very very happy to be a male because I don't believe I can find a man and that would be able to be everything around me and just let me shine as a female. So therefore, I'm a man. To boil it more down, I have to talk about the sex. I don't need someone to be inside me to make me theirs. We need me as a male to be inside the female and to make the females mine. So that was it. Now I'm gonna explain the difference between a male and a female. In the core of our being, we have some desire. There's more I can explain, but I don't want to do this now. How females are when they're young and how they change later in life, and how males, boys, are the opposite, and they also change through life. As a female, there's this big desire. Many teenagers are depressed because they're getting used as prostitutes, getting drunk and used for sex. And then most men want to hang out with other men and be single and just fuck around like they go inside a whorehouse, drinking, bringing someone home, throwing them out, just using them. So many teens are depressed. Many young girls are very depressed because naturally they have a deep desire. They have a natural deep desire that someone will be around them, inside them, take care of them, that they can fulfill someone, that they can be owned by someone, that someone will take them and make them as theirs and keep them safe and, of course, not trapped but allowed to live life to the fullest. But they have their dad when they're born, and then they have a husband. And it's not like they have to stand in the kitchen, but a woman naturally feel, because they don't have testicles, right? They just naturally feel that they want to be attached to a male for life. When we don't get this, then females just want many lovers, when they get broken after sexual encounter with bad people. Um, but generally, a female wants to be owned and protected. She's not creating child, she's carrying child and taking care of them and her family. She's like a serving function, like they say in the old script that first there was the man and then he made a female, and the female is just the negative opposite of the positive. She have a hole, right? The male have something else, and she naturally feel this function of absorbing and being her surroundings. They say that the gorillas, they can easily go in another tribe and just be a part of that tribe, where a male not so much can do this. A male have a different drive, don't want to just be submitted in a you know somewhere. The male have a different drive of becoming something. So I just want to repeat myself because I think it's worth it. So the female is observing, is the negative with the whole. She want to be taken care of. She have this natural desire when she go in the puberty that she want to be married. She want to be a part of someone else, preferably a nice tribe or family. But she is not meant to dominate. That only comes later in life when they get so disappointed from everything, society, the rape, that that they adapt into the masculine behavior. And yes, if I was born like on the planet I remember where everyone was love and light, I would definitely prefer to be a female and do my function in the spiritual room, and just be loved and have an easy time on earth. As a female, just observing and changing and healing and supporting my male, and also correcting him and putting him in the right direction, because I'm a wise person and I wouldn't have been less wise if I was a female. But now I'm a man, and now we can talk about the man. As a man, my dream is still to be just in the female vibe, you know. But the main thing here is, if I was a girl, I wouldn't have anything to bring into the picture. I would just be a female, honestly. And being a female would not make me able to be a light warrior. I couldn't live in a tribe of female and reproduce and make something beautiful that would last many generations, because I simply wouldn't have the balls to do it, understand? So that's why my vision for myself is to live as a female with female and pretend to be a female, but then just be the male, like a female in a male body. But I'm also taking the responsibility of being a man. Not like I'm a man who wants to be a girl. No, I'm a man who wants to be in my feminine element and want to protect my tribe as a man. I hoped that this could be without violence, but as a man, I'm also willing to take the role of being like a stereotype man now, after living so many years in this way. I'm ready to. I mean, I have fully encountered the female's trait, and I know how to raise the kid and do everything a female can do. Plus, I can reproduce, and just just to destroy the feminist a little bit. I don't even need a female to create a child anymore because we have AI. If you find this interesting, you should really find my podcast about love, because it's just explaining the picture a lot more than just this gender specific podcast. But now I'm gonna talk about men. So, as a feminine is made to absorb and be the glue in between men, so they don't have to hang out with their bros because they cannot figure out how to live in harmony with females. I'm talking about the men now. Then it was supposed to be that the females should be the glue in between the men, not necessarily fuck around like in many cultures, the Greeks culture and many cultures, but soften the interaction between the men, because men's natural behavior is to be conquerors. Let's go back to the childhood. So the female come in and she absorbs, she learns, she is in any kind of way a product from the man, from the father. The female doesn't really exist. She's just the in between. And as I just explained very much, I would like just to be this in between in a perfect world, because there's no responsibility. You don't have to want anything. You just absorb what your male want and you try to make him happy. And when he gets happy, you think that eventually you will be happy. And that's my goal, you know. Of course it should be like that. If the grown-ups are happy, the kids are happy, and when you treat the women good around you and they are happy, the man is happy because the man is stupid. Naturally, he is stupid, he wants to conquer. When the man is a boy, he's super egoistical. He have this energy rushing around in a different way. And a boy is self-absurd, egoistic, have many desires, things they want. They have all this testosterone. They want to run around, conquer, dominate, and hopefully, which is not the case, but hopefully we get some men who actually want to please their female and their tribe and their mom and their dad, and not only wanting what they want, because many people they want things but they don't know even why they want those things. We live in a society where it's very difficult to navigate, where it's all about prestige and money, and with sex comes more energy, and when you get more energy you have more life power and you can accomplish more, and we are just so suppressed as men that anything, a car, some sexual connection, anything that can make us higher in the hierarchy, to be acknowledged, to be good enough, is what men are going after, because they also want a successful life. Men, they're really, and boys, they're really put into, like in the kindergarten, they have to be sitting nice and quiet and be like females, because the whole sector of education are based on females, female values. Let me just make another example. Like 50 years ago, the female would tell that if the kid don't behave good, the dad will come and beat it up. In this new time, the dad will say, I'm gonna tell your mom. She have the masculine role today, and that's why we are so confused. Because even the dad respects his wife more than himself in the modern society, where the feminists finally got their revenge and they hate men, right? So just to repeat myself and clarify, the female is absorbing, she's nothing, she's made out of the man, and the man who's the only thing that truly exists is they have to fight and conquer land and conquer females and build a house and not only just do what they need to do, but they also need to, attract. It's the female that make the house a home, right? But if the male cannot attract, hunt down some food, make some food and some fire and attract, and some money and attract a female that can make him a nice home, he will be a failure. Also, you have the pressure that all the values are female values, but so you have to be soft and nice and like a female, but he also that's why he feel fucked up. He also need to conquer and to want something. There's no use of a man who don't know what he want, and you want a man to be a man. That's why young girls they go and fuck around with this guy who look like he is strong and who knows what he wants, because the female before 20 years old have no idea what she want in life, honestly. Her mom tell her something, and grandparents and the dad and the society, But I promise you, a female before at least 16 have no vision for her own life. She become a part of what she have been exposed to, and then she can take the role of being a grandmother, a wise grandmother later in life, and share all the value and tell how she want everything to be, because after living many years she know how she want life to be. She know what car she want and how she want everything around her, but it's made up from the male. That's why they say in the history that the man came first and then the woman. This is not about beliefs or opinion. It says this in the old Hindu scripts. It's thousands of year old knowledge I'm presenting you in a way that you understand way much better than if you read the knowledge yourself, because they spoke in a really weird way more than 2000 years ago, where they actually stated that this was how it is. It's the truth. You're listening to Miller's podcast, and I'm taking this truth and I'm mixing it up with the fucked up world we're living in. I'm also mixing it up with our identity and our view on the genders, and I'm putting psychology, modern psychology. I'm, 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 no, I'm not putting modern psychology into the topic. I just know that the only education you have comes from modern psychology, and that's your way of understanding what I'm talking about. So therefore, I'm talking in a language so you can understand what this was all about. I don't know if this made you understand better why it's so hard to be a man. There's of course much more you can just, I mean, all the YouTubers, they're making fun of this, but they're not understanding it on a deep level. They're just making fun of girls because they have a Lamborghini from OnlyFans, and the guy cannot get any money from OnlyFans, you understand? And they're just mocking the males in our society today, which is in the 20s, 25 years old. They're just like small boys hating on the female because she can prostitute, even without having sex, just with the phone and earn money, and they're jealous, and they you know I have a lot more to I in a later podcast I can explain you the right way of living also in the different ages, but it's too much for today now. I hope this gave you understanding about what challenges we have as females and males, how hard it is to be a little a little boy who have to make their way into become a king or a god, or just have a happy family at least. Not everyone need to, just because we are created in God's picture doesn't mean that everyone have to become a god or a king or landowner and have a big tribe and all that stuff. Because there's an alpha male and there's a lot of other heavy males, and as it is to be a female, you don't have to do anything. They will take care of you. You just have to be happy and shine and enjoy. So is it also to be a man if you live in a tribe. You have the king or the president. He's taking care of you. He has his military, and you can call for someone to help you out. Even as a man, you don't have to fight yourself. You can call for someone. So we have this feminine traits in our society that men don't have to fight for themselves. They can call for help, and that's not a shame, right? So maybe some men should not really think that it's the right thing to go and conquer the world, and it's okay to think that you don't have to be the king or dominate, or think that you should become as much as you can become. Maybe if you're not born awake and you're are not gonna be enlightened in this lifetime and stuff, maybe you should just be Try to be a man as good as you can, as loving as you can, and take as good care of your family and yeah, your kids and other kids and females, and just accept that you as a man, not all men can be in the top of the hierarchy, right? And just to finish off, so yeah, I feel like a female indeed, but I'm ready to take up the competition. I want to become something in this life. I made some of the best explanation about gender right now here in this podcast, and I want to drive. I want to succeed. I want to leave an imprint of the world because no one else can. I have a guru as well who is more enlightened than me, but it doesn't matter because he cannot speak in this language which I'm speaking because he's from another culture. He's actually from India, and in India they lived before they got attacked. They lived in sexual fulfillment. When there was no need for craziness as we have here in the broken part of the world. They were actually happy and fulfilled. And I hope this made sense for you, and I hope that you're interested to listen to more because this is just one third or maybe half of what I know about this topic. So please be sure to like, and no, not like, you don't have to like, you just have to subscribe. That would be very nice. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I have been sharing about myself and about you and about our society and about the truth and the old scriptures. And now I will give you a break and enjoy. Thank you.